Do you truly consider yourself a free individual? Are you the one steering your decisions, shaping your desires, guiding your actions? Or could it be that your so-called freedom is merely a meticulously crafted illusion designed to keep you complacent? For centuries, humanity clung to the belief that control over others would be enforced through fear, relentless oppression, and overt violence. Yet, the modern era unveils a far more subtle and, consequently, far more potent mechanism: pleasure as a sophisticated instrument to erode freedom. George Orwell painted a grim picture of the future, one dominated by ruthless censorship and authoritarian governments. In contrast, Aldous Huxley foresaw an even more perilous scenario: a society where no one needs to be coerced into submission because individuals are so deeply absorbed in a sea of entertainment that resistance becomes unthinkable. Today, this foresight no longer feels like a distant prophecy but a chillingly precise reflection of the reality we inhabit in 2025. Picture a mouse confined within a cage, its door left tantalizingly open. If it has perpetually starved, it will frantically search for an escape route, driven by instinct. But what happens if, instead, it has offered small morsels of cheese at regular intervals, requiring no effort on its part? The need to forage vanishes, and the urge to flee dissipates. Gradually, it adapts to its captivity. The door may swing wide, yet the mouse remains, content with its easy rewards. Now cast your gaze around you. This same principle governs our world. We are incessantly bombarded with distractions, endless streams of entertainment, instant gratifications that keep us sated just enough to stifle our curiosity and halt our questioning. When a void creeps into our lives, we rarely pause to dissect its origins. We simply smother it with distractions. Another scroll through social media, another surge of dopamine from a viral video, another fleeting moment of satisfaction. But is this liberation, or have we settled into a plush, comfortable prison cell? The prison of our time bears no iron bars or stern guards. Its boundaries are invisible, woven from the daily trickle of small rewards that lull us into silence, breed contentment, and sap the strength to challenge or transform our circumstances. If we are genuinely free, why do we so frequently feel ensnared? Why does anxiety proliferate, and why does dissatisfaction fester, even amidst a world brimming with conveniences and comforts? Perhaps the answer lies in the notion that true freedom extends beyond the ability to act on whims. It demands an awareness of the forces sculpting our desires. When that awareness is hijacked by an omnipresent system, our freedom morphs into a hollow illusion. What if the roots of this issue delve even deeper? What if it is not merely about distraction but a profound dependency that transforms us into insatiable consumers of pleasure, perpetually chasing the next thrill, forever pursuing something that leaves us perpetually unfulfilled? Every tap on your smartphone screen, every clip you binge watch, every notification that pings each triggers a tiny explosion of pleasure within your brain. Without realizing it, you're being conditioned, molded by habit. These quick rewards reshape your behavior, erode your patience, fragment your focus into 1,000 directions. But did you consciously choose this lifestyle, or are you merely reacting to an unseen, pervasive system of conditioning? In the dawn of humanity, the pursuit of reward was a matter of survival. We hunted across vast plains, tilled the soil with our hands, battled for sustenance, security, and a modicum of comfort. Pleasure was a hard-earned byproduct of effort. Yet today, we spare the wait. The modern world delivers everything on demand. Meals are prepped in minutes, entertainment flows without end. Social media offers a relentless lifeline of connection. It masquerades as progress, but aren't we being conditioned like subjects in a psychological experiment? Psychologist Skinner demonstrated that behavior can be molded through unpredictable rewards. In his groundbreaking experiment, pigeons pecked at a lever to receive food. When the reward arrived at predictable intervals, their interest waned. But when food was dispensed at random, they became fixated, pecking obsessively. Now consider your smartphone. You glide your finger across the screen, and a new distraction emerges. You scroll through your feed, and a surprise awaits. You glance at notifications, and a like ignites a flicker of joy. You might believe you're in command, but could it be that you're merely pressing a lever in a digital cage, awaiting the next dopamine rush? This phenomenon extends beyond the digital realm. The food industry crafts products designed to keep your brain craving more, never signaling fullness. Advertising whispers that happiness hinges on your next purchase, your next upgrade. Streaming platforms seamlessly transition from one episode to the next, knowing your mind is wired to continue. Before you know it, hours slip away, and you struggle to recall the content that consumed your time. What toll does this exact? What unfolds when we acclimate to a life of instant, effortless gratification? We forfeit the capacity to wait, to labor toward distant goals, to sit with boredom, to engage in deep reflection. Our thought processes turn impulsive, reactive, fragmented. We relinquish mastery over our own attention, and the critical question arises: who reaps the benefits? Assuredly, it isn't you. A mind enslaved by instant gratification becomes a playground for manipulation. An impatient intellect embraces any diversion thrown its way. Yet the system doesn't rely solely on dependency. To maintain its grip, it deploys a more formidable weapon: entertainment. Let us delve deeper. Are contemporary entertainments merely a form of leisure, or are they cunning tools designed to divert us from what truly holds significance? We all relish a captivating film, a gripping series, a melody that whisks us away from our troubles for a fleeting moment. Entertainment has always been a thread in the human tapestry, but its nature has shifted. Once it served as a respite, a brief pause. Now, it is an omnipresent, relentless, unavoidable force. Pose this to yourself: are we merely being entertained, or are we being subtly programmed? Huxley contended that genuine control is wielded not through censorship but through an overwhelming deluge of distractions. In his Brave New World, submission wasn't enforced. People were too preoccupied to recognize their captivity. In 2025, this is no longer a speculative tale. Observe how modern entertainment is engineered. Entire seasons dropped simultaneously, luring you into hours of mindless consumption. Video platforms preemptively play the next video, robbing you of the choice to pause. Algorithms dissect your preferences more acutely than you do, serving content that keeps you placated, undisturbed. Is this leisure, or are we being conditioned to shun solitude with our own thoughts? The saturation of entertainment molds our perception of existence. Films and series don't merely narrate tales, they embed ideas, behavioral templates, cognitive frameworks. Social media constructs echo chambers where we encounter only what aligns with our tastes, stripping us of the opportunity to challenge our perceptions. While we lay lost in this haze, pivotal decisions are made beyond our awareness. Why does modern entertainment so often prioritize escape from reality? Fictional realms, distant narratives, ceaseless diversions. Is this mere coincidence, or is there a calculated design? What occurs when a society is too engrossed in entertainment to perceive the world crumbling around it? But an even graver concern emerges. Entertainment doesn't just divert, it cultivates passivity within us. When everything is delivered effortlessly, rapidly, and addictively, we lose the drive to seek knowledge autonomously. The effort to comprehend reality feels burdensome, outrage dissipates, conformity takes root. Pleasure doesn't merely entertain, it erodes our capacity to resist. What transpires if everyone ceases to care, if no one feels compelled to question, to resist, to strive for transformation? Chaos wouldn't require suppression by force. No regime would need armies or prisons to quell rebellion. All that is necessary is to keep people so entertained that the desire for change evaporates. Absolute dominion is not achieved by silencing a person's voice but by extinguishing their will to speak. When indignation morphs into exhaustion, and the yearning for change is supplanted by a luminous screen that perpetually distracts, control is complete. In a realm where everything is swift, pleasurable, and within reach, discomfort becomes intolerable. Without discomfort, questions fade. Without questions, resistance withers. Without resistance, change stalls. The system need not muzzle your voice, it merely ensures you rate too occupied to raise it. Your energy dissipates into the next episode, the next bargain, the next validation. How often have you bristled at injustice, only to be sidetracked and forget? How many critical news items have been buried beneath a deluge of memes and consumer prompts? Apathy doesn't strike like lightning, it creeps in slowly, like a dense fog, enveloping the mind, rendering all distant, trivial, immutable. When the realization dawns, the strength to respond has already drained away. What if this is the ultimate objective, if society doesn't merely distract us but conditions us to passively accept our lot? If we are taught to exchange our outrage for instant gratification, smiling as we embrace our own powerlessness? This isn't a mere conjecture, it is unfolding before our eyes. But were we forewarned? Did we turn a blind eye to the omens? The most formidable control isn't imposed through brute force but cultivated when people willingly embrace their subjugation. This was foretold by Huxley in Brave New World. While Orwell envisioned a future of surveillance and punishment, Huxley imagined a world where coercion would be obsolete, people would be too captivated by pleasures to revolt. In 2025, this is no longer a cautionary tale but a lived reality. In Huxley's vision, books aren't prohibited, they are irrelevant. Information isn't censored, it is submerged beneath a torrent of diversions. Pleasure isn't a privilege, it is a mechanism to preserve order. Authorities require no harsh measures when citizens are too engrossed in entertainment to pose questions. Take a moment to look around, an overwhelming volume of content, a deluge of trivial information, a relentless cascade of entertainment. Did you consciously select this, or have you been conditioned to consume without inquiry? Society lavishes us with our desires yet leaves scant room for introspection. It proffers boundless pleasures but deprives us of the capacity to seek meaning. We've forged a world where amusement abounds, yet an increasing number of individuals feel hollow, anxious, and adrift. How can this be? Because Brave New World isn't a fable, it is a manual for the reality we navigate. Everything is orchestrated to transform us into passive consumers, perpetually distracted, oblivious to the invisible shackles that bind us. But is there an escape? Can we sever this cycle and reclaim dominion over our lives? If pleasure has been weaponized as a tool of control, how do we restore our autonomy? The solution lies not in rejecting pleasure but in wresting power over it. The issue isn't rooted in technology or comfort, it emerges when we become captives to instant gratification, bartering reflection for mindless consumption, permitting algorithms to dictate our time and energy. The inaugural step is to reclaim mastery over your attention. In 2025, attention transcends money, it is the ultimate currency. Corporations vie for every fleeting second of your focus. The more you diverted, the slimmer your chances of crafting something enduring. Whoever commands your attention commands your existence. The second step is to embrace discomfort as a teacher. Freedom isn't about evading suffering but about conquering boredom, frustration, and the weight. The system craves for you to have everything instantly, ensuring you never cultivate patience. Yet the most profound achievements arise from sustained endeavor, from resisting the lure of the immediate for a grander vision. The third step is to deliberately scrutinize what you consume. Do your entertainments nourish your intellect or merely occupy it? Do social networks expand your horizons or confine you within a bubble that reinforces your preconceptions? Every choice embodies an assertion of power. Who governs the contents of your mind, you or the system? But the most pivotal step is to unearth your purpose. What do you aspire to create? What holds significance for you beyond the dictates of trends and diversions? If you fail to chart your course, someone else will draft it for you. Control isn't about forsaking pleasure but redefining its role. Pleasure should be a deliberate choice, not a fetter. It should serve as a reprieve, not a flight, be a component of life, not its nucleus. If this video sparked your curiosity, you are already a step toward awakening. Your feedback, a comment, or support will amplify these ideas. Even a simple like can propel this content to others. Thank you for investing time in reflection.